Hi, I'm Nandan.
I'm Sabrish, I'm 27 years old.
Hi, I'm Deepti.
I'm 29 years old.
I'm 25 and I've had my period since I was 13.
I'm 29 years old and I've had my period since when I was 13.
The first time I had my period was very scary because it's obviously terrifying to look down and see a bunch of blood in a place where there ideally should not be a lot of blood. I thankfully could reach out to my mom and she helped me maneuver it easily. But until then, I knew very little about what it was. All I knew was that it happened every month and that it will not be the most pleasant experience.
I was not told anything about periods. I didn't know what periods was. It was a nightmare for me. It was something I was told it was natural, but it was so painful that I didn't know how to go about with things.
The first time I heard about periods was probably when my cousin was having a ceremony of coming of age ceremony. And I wasn't entirely sure what it was all about. It was just a ceremony that they were talking about, and they told me there's going to be people there and we're going to celebrate something.
So I learned about periods when I was in 4th standard or 5th standard. I used to be very inquisitive about what this entire thing was because mom or someone used to take this 3 or 4 days off in a month. I used to be so inquisitive, and there was this one time when my aunt sat down and told me that there is this biological process that happens in a woman's body and they need rest those 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, a lot of us didn't really. We just sort of would say, yeah, I think every month there's something that happens to your body. Our mum, they used to secretly carry these stay-free packets home and we'd all wonder what was in there. There were a lot of jokes about how it's a packet of bread, you know. We don't really talk about what happens in that. Our mums were always very secretive about it. So we'd speculate what was in that packet.
The unwanted blood that comes out of your uterus, so that's what I do. Then it was the education that came into me.
The first time I sort of really understood what periods were, I didn't realize there needed to be a celebration around it. I didn't understand what the correlation between there being a ceremony like that and what it actually was. I thought it was a big change. I thought it was possibly a very scary thing.
But I obviously through the years I've understood what it is, but I've not given it the entire thought of understanding what it is. But I know that's the days when they need help, and that's my understanding of it.
It's very weird because I've heard people cannot enter the kitchen, people have to sleep down, people cannot use the beds. It's like one whole thing of you are untouchable by itself. And I'm like, why? Just because you're bleeding? No, it doesn't work that way. I think we made that way for a reason. So why do you have to shy away from all these things? It's weird.
Yeah, so there is this concept of you're not clean enough to do these things. And my mom's always telling me, you need to take a shower on this day, otherwise you're going to be dirty. I can do the pujas after day 4, I can't do the pujas until then, you know. And that puts you in a very weird place because you feel dirty whenever you have your period. I know that I'm constantly washing things, I'm constantly feeling like I have to be a little cleaner, even though it's not necessarily something.
I think it should be out there. People should not, by itself, women should not be embarrassed for having periods. People need to start talking about it much. People need to be aware of all these things. You don't have to shy away from all this. It's very normal. You're giving birth, you have this, and that leads to you giving birth. So it's very normal. Talk about it. Be open about it. Men should also be open about it.
Even in our spaces, I find that we will hide our bag when we have to use it. And if we go to a shop, we will ask secretly. We will have it wrapped in newspaper. We don't really get it as openly as we could. And it's beyond just, even if women are not able to do that, I know that it's more difficult to get the men to do that. And we've had men in our lives who will not get us bags, who will not go out of their way to help us out when we're feeling like this.
Without a proper understanding of what it is, we're not going to be able to help each other out. We're probably going to step away from that problem. We sort of cascades into many other problems in itself. And I think there's a time for intervention and to understand what really is happening, and the only possible way is to probably start talking about it and understand what it is.
As a community, I think we should start talking about it and not look at it as taboo. And this is not something that is disgusting or that line of thought should not be there and needs to be normal. and since it's a biological process, it needs to be treated as such.
I believe everything starts with conversation. The more people talk to each other openly, the less stigma there's going to be. There's going to be lesser thoughts about how impure this is or how dirty this is. There's going to be less talk of being untouchable or feeling of being untouchable.
We shouldn't be feeling embarrassed or shy or any of this should not happen.
I think the first step is to try and tell ourselves that we don't understand it fully and start talking to women about it and understand their perspective on this.
चुप रहना मना है.
Chup rehna mana.
चुप रहना मना है.
चुप रहना मना है.